Sylveon, Gothitelle, and Talonflame were three Pokemon on the same team that were actually able to get day 2 at one of the most stacked events of the year in the North American International Championship. We're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. This is a very hyper offensive team that was able to make day 2 at the North American International Championship. We have the really interesting mons of Gothitelle, which really has fallen off. We did see it get top 4 at the LA Regional Championship, but it's really hard, especially after Calyx Shadow Rider ends up coming back into success, which means it's really hard for Gothitelle because Astral Barrage, the Shadow tag, doesn't exactly work against Calyx Shadow Rider because it can switch out. There's a lot of pivoting moves in the format with U-turn and parting shot, especially from like Rillaboom's and Incineroar. So it's very difficult for Shadow tag Gothitelle to be as potent as it was. Granted, it still has some pretty strong options because Shadow Tag is still a fantastic ability, even with all those pivoting moves, and is able to help out quite a bit. And it has that fake out support. You have the Terra Dark option, so you don't get taunted by prankster moves like Tornadus or by the Encore on the Whimsicott. You have Foul Play that can help deal a lot of damage to the Ghost Calyx, which means if they want to Terra out to be not taking as much damage from that Foul Play, then they are trapped by that Shadow Tag. So you have that as well. Taunt to help out against Amoonguss, deny Trick Room setters, and more, and Helping Hand to help out with the rest of the team. You have the Sylveon, which is an interesting addition, but it's able to do a lot. It has a really good special defense stat, and this Sylveon decently fast because with the Tailwind option you do have with the Talonflame, the Sylveon's actually running enough speed where you're able to outspeed base 135s after a Tailwind. So it's actually running pretty much a lot of speed, which means it's not exactly the bulkiest side, but still able to take attacks just all right. Fairy Feather to help boost up its Fairy type moves, and with Pixelate, able to turn those normal moves into Fairy type moves and boost up that power. And this one just running all Fairy type moves. You have Hyper Voice, good spread move, able to do a lot. Hyper Beam as a nuke, and then Quick Attack for the priority that can help out against Focus Sash mons, especially since Sylveon isn't exactly the fastest mon out there. Helps really there. And then Detect. Next, we have the Talonflame. This one able to help out the speed control and a more offensive partner because you have the priority in the Brave Bird with the Gale Wings and the Sharp Beak. You also have a very important moves with Feint and Quick Guard, which Tornadus does not get access to. So Feint's able to help out because Feint does break through Wide Guard and protects. That can stall out the valuable Tailwind turns. So that can be really strong. And Quick Guard is very nice to prevent your partners from being affected by priority moves such as Fake Out, Sucker Punch, especially when you're using Calyx Shadow Rider. Very useful tool. And speaking of Calyx Shadow Rider, this one is a Choice Specs Calyx Shadow Rider with Terra Ghost. Not really much to say about it. Just dish out as much damage as you possibly can. Running a Choice Specs Astral Barrage Terra Ghost, able to do so much damage. Psyshock for Terapagos, especially to calm mind ones and more, like the Assault Vest Pokemon. Pollen Puff, which is bug coverage that can hit dark types as well as heal your team if you need it. And then Trick to help out if you do want to lock something into a move or get rid of the Choice Specs on the Calyx Shadow Rider so you can actually switch it up. The Darker Shifu, really nice pairing with the Talonflame, able to do quite a bit against the opposing Calyx Shadow Riders because you do threaten them, and the Sucker Punch as well for the priority close combat to help out against the Terapagos, and that Stellar Terra allows for Shifu to hit really hard with the Wicked Blow and the close combat. Finally, we have the Wellspring Ogerpon, and this is for a really nice redirection to help support the Calyx Shadow Rider, and of course helps out against Kyogre and able to do quite a bit with the coverage with the water coverage to help out against Incineroar, actually be able to do some damage with the Ivy Cudgel, and Horn Leash for recovery. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Whimsicott, Miraidon, Heartflame Ogerpon, Iron Hands, or Shifu, and Ferrograph. It's a team that's been picking up quite a bit recently, especially I believe that this team was the first seed in one of the recent VR tournaments and was used by a former world champion in the seniors division, Ko, I believe. So how do I want to approach this Miraidon matchup? Because it's not easy per se if they lead the Farigiraf, which is pretty concerning. I just don't know, because if I can call them and them not leading Farigiraf, I could trap them with Shadow Tag, which would be pretty big with Gothitelle. And Gothitelle Sylveon seems pretty good because if I let someone like Talonflame Calyrex, I feel like it'd be super difficult for them to actually deal with. So I think I'm going to go with Sylveon plus the Gothitelle. I think in the back, I want Talonflame because the Urshifu Sucker Punch. No. Actually, no. I do want Calyrex Shadow Rider. Especially do I want Talonflame or do I want Wellspring Ogerpon because their own Urshifu is a little bit concerning. Yet I don't know if it's worth. Because Follow Me might be worth. Actually, no. I think Talonflame is better than Wellspring. If it's not Water Urshifu, I believe it should be usually Dark Urshifu on this team. But if it's Water Urshifu, then it's going to be concerning. Because Water Urshifu, of course, Ogerpon would be a better switch in. But we'll see. What did they lead? Did they lead to Ferrograph or not is a big question. They lead Whimsicott and Miraidon. That's absolutely huge for me because I lead the Sylveon plus the Gothitelle. And now I get to go for a fake out into the slot of the Miraidon. And I get to go for a Hyper Voice. And they're pretty much forced to Terra here. I could also go for Hyper Beam and try to get a KO into Miraidon. But I don't really think that's worth it. I could go for Terra Fairy. Don't know if that's worth it either. I think I'm just going to go... The Terra Fairy might be a really strong option, actually. Debating about it because it might put Sylveon into a decent range. I am going to... Or it might put in range of like Quick Attack or another combination. Like the Whimsicott might be in Quick Attack range. You know what? I'm going to go for Hyper Voice with Terra Fairy. Let's see. Let's see if Sylveon can put in some work here with the Hyper Voice doing a good amount of damage. We are going to see a Terra activate from my opponent's Miraidon. It is going to be the Terra Fairy, which is not too surprising. Okay, excellent. I wonder if it's Encore coming out from the Whimsicott, which is fine. But yeah, we're just trying to get as much damage as we possibly can with the Hyper Voice. And now the Miraidon also doesn't resist the Brave Bird, so Talonflame can clean up with Brave Bird if I need to. Let's see. Sylveon in. Fake out. Into Miraidon. Is this Encore? No, Light Screen. That makes sense. Okay, so that's going to reduce the damage output, which I think is pretty okay. So we are able to get a Hyper Voice off. With the Terra Fairy, should still do a decent chunk. Yeah, actually, oh, we crit the Whimsicott. I don't know if I like the crit on Whimsicott, because Whimsicott wasn't exactly the most useful mon on their side. But I guess we do deny Tailwind, which is nice. But yeah, it could have been better. Let's see who they are bringing out. I mean, denying Tailwind's always really good. We're going to see Iron Hands come out. All right. Which I'm okay with Iron Hands coming out. If they want to take the knockout on Gothitelle, I will gladly welcome that. So I think my play is just to foul play the Miraidon and just go for Protect with the Sylveon slot. Or Detect here. And get the free switch to Talonflame. So I can Brave Bird the Miraidon and threaten Hyper Voice. They fake out the Gothitelle, which is not too surprising. They're going to go for Electro Drift. Extremely strong damage output into the Sylveon slot. Unfortunately, I think I might... I don't want Sylveon to go down. I might actually prefer Calyrex going down. If it's Urshifu in the back, and I think it should be Urshifu in the back. I think my play is always actually just to foul play the Iron Hands and just swap out into Calyrex and sack Calyrex. It's just because the Urshifu is just so problematic that I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I'm going to sack Calyrex. I don't think Calyrex is worth it. Like, I'd rather have Sylveon over Calyrex, which is really strange to say in a matchup, but yeah, I just don't really see its value here. Bring out the Calyrex, which is going to get sacked to the Electro Drift, which is fine in this position. I could have sacked Talonflame too, I suppose, and actually I should have probably sacked Talonflame, because I could have gotten the position with Helping Hand Astral Barrage and gotten necessary chip. Yeah, that was actually a mistake. I should have sacked the Talonflame. Oh well. I'll play, get some chip into the Iron Hands. They go for Heavy Slam to get chip into Gothitelle, which is able to hang on pretty well. Gets the Citrus Berry. These Iron Hands, I'm pretty sure they don't usually run Wall Charge. So I should be safe with Talonflame. Although Talonflame might just go down to close combat realistically. We bring out the Talonflame. And since the Miraidon is trapped in, we can go for a foul play into the Iron Hands, and we can go for Brave Bird. I'm like pretty confident Brave Bird should just knock out the Miraidon here, unless the Miraidon for some reason is not choice specs, which I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Brave Bird gonna be able to pick up that knockout into the Miraidon very safely. Excellent. Okay. And then this should be Iron Hands gonna go for its attack, whatever it is. I don't know if it's picking up a knockout, which is a big part here. Foul play gonna get more chip damage into Iron Hands, which is important for my Sylveon Hyper Voice. A Drain Punch into Gothitelle, which isn't able to pick up a knockout. Okay. So is this Ursh? Should be Ursh. Yep, it is Ursh. Okay, perfect. Oh, Water Ursh. Yeah, that's not good. All right, it being Water Ursh is really, really not good. It should be Scarf. It should probably be Sash on this team. I think I'm just gonna foul play, and I'm just gonna Brave Bird the Iron Hands. Yeah. Okay, they'd protect, which is actually really good for me because I went for a Brave Bird and Iron Hands because I'm trying to put this Iron Hands into range of Sylveon attacks. I get a critical hit onto Iron Hands as well, which is even a big bonus here. Okay, perfect. Foul play going to go out into the Ursh slot, which I was trying to break a potential Focus Sash, which I think it is going to be Focus Sash. We're going to see what... Wait, they had Wall Charge? They didn't go for it into the Gothitelle? Okay. A surprise there. I'll definitely take it. We get to go out into Sylveon now. Light Screen wears off, which is really good because we were trying to stall out that Light Screen for the Hyper Voice damage. All right. Sylveon going to come out. I'm pretty sure if I went for the Calyrex play of sacking the Talonflame and then going for Helping Hand Astral Barrage, I'm pretty sure that I am able to pick up the knockout with Helping Hand Astral Barrage into the Miraidon and how low it was. But yeah, we're going to go for a foul play into the Ursh. We're going to go for a Hyper Voice. And it's going to come down to, I guess, A, can the Ursh knock me out? Which it doesn't look like it is going to be able to. All right, nice. How fast is your Iron Hands compared to the Sylveon? I imagine Sylveon's faster. Yeah. Okay, perfect. We are able to get the Hyper Voice off. And that should knock out Iron Hands. I think even... I'm pretty sure even if we didn't get the Brave Bird critical hit from earlier, the Wall Charge recoil... Plus, it's a Terra Hyper Voice. I'm pretty sure I could have just went for Helping Hand. I would have went for Helping Hand Hyper Voice to be safe because I also had Quick Attack for the Ursh. But yeah, now we can just seal up the game 100% because we have Quick Attack. Oh, Sylveon Gothitelle Talonflame, the stars of the game. It wasn't the Calyrex. The stars or the Sylveon doing a bunch of damage to their team. The Gothitelle Shadow Tag trapping, which was really crucial for what I needed to do. Granted, it was Water Ursh, which I guess maybe I got the team wrong. Maybe it was Water Ursh originally on the team. I have seen both on this, so maybe they're just different teams in general. But I'm just glad Sylveon was able to really put in the work there. Zacian, Chiyu, Tornadus, Regidrago, Wellspring, Ogerpon, and Indeedee. And this is like a James Pill team right here. Like strong spread moves, the follow me redirection. I kind of really dig this team actually. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to perform against this one? We have... Trying to figure out what I want to bring here against this team. Sylveon's pretty good for the Regidrago. I gotta watch out for the Zacian. Talonflame Tailwind can be really good. Darkrish is pretty solid. Don't know if I want to bring Gothitelle into this. There's a lot of offense, and I would just lose the offense. I don't think it's worth it. But my own Wellspring Ogerpon can put in work. I think though I'd prefer the offensive tools on this team, like Talonflame. I like Ursh, and then in the back, my Calyrex and Sylveon. Let's see how this is gonna go. A lot of this could... It's gonna be tricky because Indeedee is actually something I'm gonna have to figure out a lot here. They just have the pressure of going for like a Trick Room if they have the Terra Fairy or something. Like Chiyu Indeedee, yeah, this is gonna be a scary lead. And unfortunately for my Talonflame, it can't do anything in this situation because of the Psychic Terrain, which is the downside to using Talonflame with only Brave Bird and I guess Feint as your attacking moves here. Psychic Seed on the Entity is not too surprising. What do I want to go for? I kind of want to Wicked Blow the Entity. And Tailwind? Because I don't know if Zacian is going to be in the back or Torn. Hey, just follow me. Okay, so this is actually the perfect case. I get a Wicked Blow. I get a Tailwind up. Should be able to knock out the Entity. We know it's not Rocky Helmet because Psychic Seed activated. And that means next turn, we should have a pretty decent spot. Entity goes down. Super ideal. A critical hit, always guaranteed. Entity eliminated. And then Heat Wave? Yeah, Heat Wave. Please hit the Talent. Okay, double miss is fine. Double miss is fine. But I would have actually liked them to hit the Talent because it would allow me to hit the Chi with Brave Bird, which is like, okay, that's what I was expecting. Torn going to come in. All right. I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird into the Chi, and I'm just going to go for a Wicked Blow into the Torn. I could double up the Chi too. So it's Zacian in the back remaining. No, I think it's smarter to divide the attacks. Yeah, I'm just going to divide the attacks. We're going to see a Terra come out from my opponent. I don't know who they're tearing. It might be the Torn. No, it's the Chi. They went for Ghost, so I could have actually went for a Wicked Blow. Maybe they're thinking I'm just going to close combat, but I don't really have a reason to close combat. I would have doubled up with Wicked Blow. Brave Bird going to fail. Oh, they went for a Bleak Wind, it looks like. No, they did Tailwind. Okay, I was about to say, I think it would Tailwind this situation because me doubling up the Torn would be bad if you didn't Terra. Oh, it's Scarf on the Chi. Okay, good to confirm. We are able to get the Wicked Blow into the Torn. Nice. All right. So Chi basically will always go down after Psychic Terrain ends. I think my play is always to click Feint into the Torn, which I don't know if it has Protect or not, but it's still worth it. And go for a Detect. Yeah, I'm gonna just Detect. Yeah, I'm gonna Feint the Torn. I'm gonna Detect my Ursh. It didn't switch into Zacian, which is really good for me. Feint will come out into the Torn. Actually, that didn't pick up the knockout. I thought that would. I should have Brave Birded then. I thought Feint was always going to KO and cover the Protect option. That's actually really bad. Actually, is it? Please land a Bleak Wind. I actually want you to land a Bleak Wind. Okay. So I get to bring out my Shadow Rider next. And I just click Astral Barrage. So we go on to Calyx Shadow Rider. We know that the Chi used Scarf because that's what it, because we saw it move before the Talonflame. I just get to click Astral Barrage. They do not have a switch. So here comes an Astral Barrage into both. We swap out a Sylveon to take the Heat Wave. And we should be fine barring the Torn set. As Sylveon comes in. They Protect, that's fine. And Heat Wave, okay, yeah. We should be well, Calyx avoided, but it's not KOing. Like, we saw the damage of Sylveon, it was definitely not KOing Calyx. Astral Barrage is going to be launched into the Chi, pick up the knockout. And now it's the Zacian. Should be Zacian as the last Pokemon. Which means I should have this sealed. Chi goes down. If it was Sunny Day on the Torn, but I don't think Heat Wave was actually KOing from Scarf. Based on the damage to Sylveon. Tailwind peters out, and now their Calyx is going to come in. They got to go for Behemoth Blade into the Calyx. I mean, this could be a raid here. I'm quick attacking the Torn always. And I'm going to Ursh. Quick attack. Better KO the Torn this time. Yeah, better KO the Torn. If they get double attacked and they Behemoth Blade the Sylveon, we lose. If they... Yeah. Nice. So quick attack knocks out the Torn. We can quick attack into terrain because they are a flying type. So they aren't immune to the terrain. They did Behemoth Blade. What was the Calyrex? That should have been the last turn of Tailwind on their side. So now we get to fire off a single target Choice Specs Astral Barrage with the Ghost Terra and Hyper Voice follow up in case that doesn't KO. So really, really nice. Whew. Alex comes in. But yeah, we just get to click Terra, Astral Barrage, and a Hyper Voice. And this is single target Choice Specs Terra Ghost. And they already used their Terra on the Chi-Yu, so I don't have to worry about like a Terra normal Zacian appearing here. So we should be good. This should KO. This is just too much damage. I don't think it one-shots, but maybe. Depends on the Zacian. I imagine this is decent bulk. Oh, it just goes down. Choice Specs Scarlet. It is single target too. Okay. Nice. Nice. All right. Other than the faint play, we did miss they did miss a heat wave, which then like if I did get hit by the heat wave, the faint was still going to be in the kind of the similar scenario. Worked out. Worked out. I think we were able to map the tailwind turns correctly, and I think that was like a huge part because their Chi-Yu, I was able to get some chip, but I was able to get rid of one Pokemon pretty early on, and then yeah, they were in a lot of trouble. Iron Leaves, Miraidon, Chi-Yu, Whimsicott, Iron Hands, and Farigiraf. This is gonna be a dangerous game, isn't it? Chi-Yu super threatening. The Miraidon is pretty threatening. Iron Leaves is actually kind of scary. I do gotta respect that mon quite a bit. So I don't really like Ogerpon in this matchup. It only helps against the Chi-Yu, but I don't really feel like that this Ogerpon's really worth it because it's just not faster than Chi-Yu, which is a pretty important one. It's also probably Scarf Chi-Yu as well. I think Sylveon plus Gothitelle is probably safe. And then do I want Calyrex or Ursh as the back? I think Talonflame is always broad. I think Calyrex is better against Iron Leaves. Ursh gives me a Focus Sash, which could give me room for error, which might be really good against the Chi. The Chi is really difficult. I think I will go Ursh. Let's see. I think I might need Ursh just because it's just difficult, man. The Chi-Yu is just really difficult. If it's Choice Scarf Chi-Yu, then I don't really have many good answers to it. Although usually on Miraidon teams, I've seen Terra Ground Terra Blast was pretty common. So I don't know if this is going to be that kind of set. Because that would be easier because I could actually go for Fake Out. We are going to see the Chi-Yu Miraidon lead. This is going to be very scary. The damage is already pretty big. Granted, I'm pretty sure if okay, I don't think this is that bad because I'm pretty sure that I can go for a Hyper Voice with the Beads of Ruin is going to do a lot, and then they Fake Out the Miraidon. I should be able to hang on with my Sylveon on almost any attack here because Sylveon has really good special defense, and then I put these Pokemon into range of Sucker Punch from Urshifu, or I bring in the Talonflame afterwards, so might not be an awful position. Let's find out who's the Scarf right here. We're going to see a Terra come out, which is probably Miraidon to avoid, Sylveon doing super effective damage. It's going to be that Terra Fairy option. All right, once again. Terra Fairy being very common on Miraidon, especially. Let's see. All right, Sylveon, how much damage can you do, buddy? Because we need really big Hyper Voice damage into both, because both of these Pokemon are really threatening. Like, really threatening. Sylveon... Terra. Alright, Fake Out in a Miraidon. It is Scarf on the Chi-Yu. They go for overheating the Gothitelle because I guess they were trying to read a Terra on the Gothitelle, which is actually really good for me. Okay. So I am able to heal back with a Citrus Berry, although if Gothitelle went down, I actually got a free switch, which would have been pretty pleasant. We are going to get a Hyper Voice off, some pretty solid damage. Yeah, that's really good damage. Helping Hand Quick Attack! I don't think knocks out Miraidon. I refuse to believe it does. I refuse to believe it knocks out Miraidon at that range. We are faster than Miraidon if we get Tailwind up, so I think what my play is here is just to attack with Sylveon and sack the Gothitelle. And we're going to foul play the Miraidon for extra chip, because if we do get a foul play, I'm pretty sure Helping Hand Quick Attack would knock out. Like if they double the Sylveon slot this turn. They go for Overheat once again, which is okay. Because Miraidon can't get an attack off here. Gothitelle goes down. Excellent. And now we get Talonflame in. We click a Tailwind Hyper Voice. And we're looking like in a really good spot. They go for Electro Drift into Sylveon. Excellent. And now I could also bring out Calyx. Or not Calyx. If I had Calyx, though, if I could go into Calyx and click the... I could just go for a really strong Astral Barrage right here. As Chi would be forced to retreat. But I don't have it, unfortunately. But we are going to get a Hyper Voice off. And Tailwind. This Sylveon is designed to outspeed Miraidon under Tailwind. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Tailwind and Hyper Voice. If they swap out the Miraidon, somebody's taking a big Hyper Voice. And we'll see what comes up the following turn. Because if it's Whimsicott, it's going to depend on how much it takes from the Hyper Voice coming up. They retreat to Chi-Yu actually, which is an interesting play. Oh, Farigiraf? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So they bring up Farig, which is completely fine. It's taking a lot of damage from Hyper Voice. They were trying to cover for the Brave Bird, which makes a lot of sense because Sylveon needs a lot of speed in order to outspeed Miraidon even under Tailwind. So it makes a lot of sense that they tried to make that play. I think that might be one of their outs. They might not have brought even Whimsicott. Hyper Voice is going to come out, knock out the Miraidon, does half to the Farigiraf, which is really impressive. And now... who did they have? Potentially they had a Whimsicott. We know that they have the Chi-Yu still around. We're going to see Iron Hands come out. Okay. They already Terra'd, which is perfect because what's really perfect about this situation is I have Quick Guard on the Talonflame. So they're probably just trying to fake out and go for a Trick Room and hope that a Talonflame might not have like a Flare Blitz or something for the Farig. But yeah, we get to go for a Quick Guard here and a Hyper Voice. So this will block a fake out from the Iron Hands. Ooh, all right. Yeah, they went for the fake out. They targeted the Sylveon because the Sylveon was just threatening so much damage. The Hyper Voice just going to come out, obliterate the Farigiraf, and do so much damage to Iron Hands. And then it's just a Chi-Yu in the back. And then I just win the game by clicking Brave Bird into Chi-Yu. With that Gale Wings priority, we always outspeed the Chi-Yu. And then we just Hyper Voice the Iron Hands. So unless this Iron Hands could have one tech move. Wait, does it get upper hand? I don't remember if it even gets upper hand. If it has upper hand, then they could go for a crit. But yeah, we're just gonna Hyper Voice. We're gonna go for a Brave Bird. I don't know if Feint actually picks us a knockout into the juice. I'm not even gonna try. That's gonna be forfeited. It's Sylveon once again taking on a Miraidon team. Feels great, man. It feels great. Urshifu, Raging Bolt, Clefairy, Calyx Shadow Rider, Rillaboom, and Incineroar. All right, pretty standard build for the most part. We have a general Calyx Shadow Rider build. How do I want to approach this? Sylveon does really good damage. Do I want a Gothitelle? Not amazing. It can do work though. My own Calyx Shadow Rider is pretty tough for them to handle. The problem is, of course, if I always lead the Talonflame, or if I lead the Calyx and then they lead their Calyx, it's just, it's not exactly amazing. I think I'm gonna do Sylveon. The thing is, I just don't like Gothitelle in this game. I like Sylveon quite a bit. I think Sylveon Calyx might be the best option realistically. Have Talonflame in the back with the Ursh. Is Gothitelle, like, the problem with Gothitelle is, of course, the reason is Shadow Rider Calyx. That Pokemon is a super Big threat to the Gothitelle. Sure, I could go for a Terra Dark, I suppose. But the thing is, it seems like all my partners are just vulnerable to Astral Barrage. That even if I do get it, like they could just Terra Fairy out of the Ghost weakness, and it's not that great for me still. We're gonna see Incineroar plus the Raging Bolt. All right. I don't mind this. No, my switches aren't great because Gale Wings is nice and having the Sash is nice. So I don't know if I actually want to. Ursh would probably be the best switch. Probably. I don't know if they fake out or they just go for a knockoff. I think my best play is just a Hyper Voice. Get some big damage off. I might actually just go for damage because I can definitely beat their Calyrex still, even without my own Calyrex. I think I'm just going to get as much damage as I can to both of these sides. All right. They allow me to get Astral Barrage Hyper Voice combo off. They're probably going to go for a knockoff into my Calyrex and then something with the Raging Bolt. I am fast with Sylveon, so I actually just am able to double up knock out the Raging Bolt, which is actually really nice. Okay. They go for a knockoff, get rid of my Calyrex. But you know what? That's not a bad trade-off. Getting rid of Raging Bolt is absolutely huge for me. I was expecting now to be the Raging Bolt. That's actually a pretty slow Raging Bolt. They are able to use Citrus Berry though, which kind of stinks for me because I was trying to put in to range of I mean, it's okay. I could bring in my own Ursh. I was really hoping that I could just put in range of Hyper Voice. I could just go for Tail and Hyper Voice. I'm going to switch on my game plan though and bring out my Ursh against their Calyrex that's coming in. Yep. And I'm going to go for their Calyrex should always go for the Terra here. I don't know if they have Clef. I feel like they should probably have like Ursh in the back. So I'm actually going to go for a Hyper Beam. And I'm going to go for Close Combat into the Incineroar. Do I need to Terra Sylveon? I don't need Terra on Talonflame. Yeah, I think actually Terra on Sylveon's correct. I'm going to go for a Hyper Beam and a Close Combat. If they have Cleft, it changes my plan a lot, but let's see. Okay, we're going to see a Terra on... This should be always Calyrex, because you can't risk Sucker Punch. Yeah, exactly. And if the Calyrex is not Sash, I'm pretty sure that Hyper Beam should just blow it up here and I win. So let's see if that is correct. I mean, that's kind of what I was banking on, really. Otherwise, I should have just clicked Hyper Voice. But we'll find out. They go for the Astral Barrage. All right, perfect. So Ursh should be able to tank this just fine. Yep, Sylveon tanks it too. That's not choice specs. Close Combat going to come out into the Incineroar. At least I don't think so. It's probably just how frail the Sylveon is, because I'm used to a decently bulky Sylveon in general with calcs in the past. Hyper Beam. Oh. Come on, Sylveon. You just had to click. I think I would have just won. Oh. I actually think I just won if I hit that, because it's their Ursh in the back. They were vulnerable to Sucker Punch. They were vulnerable to Feint. They were vulnerable to Brave Bird. Oh, why, Sylveon? Why are you causing me so much pain like this? Do I have an out? Yeah, I do. Okay. Quick attack the Ursh. Detect, because they should be Actually, I don't know who you're targeting with the Ursh. Actually, I don't even think it matters. Unless it's Scarf Ursh and I get this read right. Let's see. Quick attack with the Terra Fairy. Into their Ursh. Break potential Sash, I suppose. Yeah, because they just get an Astral Barrage. They nuke my side of the field and then Ursh cleans up afterward. Sylveon, why? Was it too greedy? Is the problem with Hyper Voice there is if it's Citrus Berry, they just heal back up. And then I'm still in a pretty bad spot. If I land the Hyper Beam, even because Hyper Beam should, with Terra Fairy, with Fairy Feather, I think should either knock out the Calyrex or put it in range of like it should put it in range of like anything else. Yep, unfortunate. Sylveon, why? I'm just gonna find out how bulky this Calyx is, because if it's Sash, I'm pretty sure. I feel like Talonflame Braper. I don't know. Calyx, I guess, is decently bulky. I just want to see if maybe if this is bulky Calyx or not. Let's see if there was a Citrus Berry. If there's no Citrus Berry and it didn't take the Hyper Beam, then there's no shot of my opponent winning. Yeah, it wasn't Citrus. I feel like I had a really good chance of just winning. Unfortunate. Also, it didn't seem like a bulky Calyrex because the Braper did so much damage. I'm pretty sure Hyper Beam would have been either a lot or like close, because the Sucker Punch pressure was always there. And then I also had Quick Attack pressure. Unfortunate. I also had Faint too. But that is unfortunately the risk of running the Hyper Beam. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, Gothitelle with Sylveon was a great lead, being able to do a lot of damage early on. Even with the light screen up, I'm not sure whether Talonflame or Calyrex was a better sack option, as helping hand Astral Barrage let me get a huge amount of damage into the Iron Hands for Hyper Voice, creating a potential safer endgame, but Sylveon was able to clutch up. In game 2, the early knockout onto the Entity was huge, as no Trick Room threat was great for me. Other than the Feints not being able to knock out the Tornadus, but might have been the right option anyway to guarantee the damage for a Quick Attack knockout, I was able to stall out the Tailwind and then set up my Calyx to outspeed and clean up the Zacian. In game 3, another amazing lead with Sylveon, as I was able to do so much damage to my opponent's team with Hyper Voice, and they really couldn't do much to stop it. In game 4, I had a really strong start with some heavy damage from my spread attacks, and I believe I would have won the game if Hyper Beam landed on the Calyx, which would have either knocked it out or put it into range of any of my priority moves. I was actually very impressed with Sylveon and the Gothitelle. Actually, with Shadow Tag, you want to get rid of threats or weaken things for the Calyx Shadow Rider to clean up with Astral Barrage, or you're able to do quite a bit, especially because with that Shadow Tag, just really nice against Miraidon if they want to lead Miraidon, which a lot of Miraidon teams do that we saw. That Fake Out option, if they don't lead Farigiraf and then Sylveon, is really strong combo. Granted, they lead Farigiraf, I think it's just a mind game, because then you have a Talonflame you can lead, and then you can just put on a lot of pressure that way. So I think it's more of a read game, especially in an open team sheet setting, but it was very fun. If you do want to try out the team, the renter code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time this video comes out. If not, you can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.